Over 60 4 worst breakfast foods you should never touch, and 4 you must eat. Have you ever sat down for breakfast and unknowingly sent your body into panic mode? You didn't feel it right away, but hours later your knees ache, your brain fogs, your energy crashes. You blame age. But what if I told you it wasn't your age at all? It was your breakfast. Yes, that toast, that yogurt, that bowl of cereal. What feels safe might be silently tearing you down day by day. Here's the truth. Breakfast is the most misunderstood meal for seniors. Millions of older adults wake up every morning and eat something that looks healthy, but triggers blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and even memory loss. But the good news, you can flip this around starting tomorrow. In this video, we'll reveal 4 common breakfast foods seniors should never touch and 4 that your body desperately needs after 60. Simple changes, backed by real science. Because you deserve to wake up with strength, clarity, and peace of mind. So, if you're ready to feel better than you have in years, hit that subscribe button and stay with me. You're just one breakfast away from turning everything around. Part 1, the hidden danger in healthy cereals. Let's begin where most seniors begin their day at the breakfast table, pouring a bowl of cereal. It's quick, it's familiar, it feels healthy, but the truth, that innocent box on your shelf may be the quietest threat to your health. You see, most breakfast cereals, even the ones labeled whole grain, multi-grain, or heart healthy, are ultra-processed. What does that mean? It means the grains have been ground, stripped, and reshaped so many times, they digest faster than sugar itself. Your body doesn't get fiber, it gets a blood sugar explosion. And what follows that explosion? A crash, fatigue, brain fog, and hunger again. This is especially dangerous for seniors. A 2020 study from the British Medical Journal found that people over 60 who consumed ultra-processed cereals had a 21% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Another analysis from the Nurses' Health Study linked daily breakfast cereal to a 36% higher risk of abdominal fat, which is deeply tied to inflammation, heart disease, and stroke. And if you think sugar-free cereals are better, think again. They often hide sweeteners under names like fruit juice concentrate or malt extract, which hit your bloodstream just as hard. For older adults, this isn't just about calories or carbs. It's about sending your body the wrong signal first thing in the morning, a signal that disrupts your metabolism, weakens your muscles, and feeds inflammation. So if this sounds familiar, if you've been pouring from that box for years, don't feel guilty. You were never told the full story. But now that you know, let's talk about what's next. There are better ways to get fiber, comfort, and even convenience without hurting your body. Let's look at one of the worst convenient options next, and why it may be even worse than cereal. Part 2, instant oatmeal packets, heart healthy or heart harming. In the last section, we talked about breakfast cereals, how they spike your blood sugar. Despite looking healthy, now let's talk about something even trickier, instant oatmeal packets. They wear the mask of health. They say whole grain. They claim to lower cholesterol. But here's what most seniors don't know. Instant oats are nothing like the real oats our grandparents used to eat. They're pre-cooked, flattened, and processed until your body digests them almost instantly. And when that happens, your blood sugar shoots up fast. You feel full for a moment. Then your insulin spikes to chase down the sugar, and soon after, a crash, fatigue, hunger, again. Now let's add the hidden sugar. Some maple or apple cinnamon flavors pack over 18 grams of added sugar in one small packet. That's over 4 teaspoons of sugar first thing in the morning. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who ate a high glycemic breakfast like instant oats had a 47% increase in inflammation that lasted for 6 hours after eating. 6 hours. That means by lunch, your body is still dealing with the damage from breakfast, and that damage goes deeper. Chronic spikes like these increase your risk of insulin resistance by up to 40%, a leading factor in prediabetes and type 2 diabetes in seniors. If you're thinking, but I thought oats were good for me, you're not wrong. Real oats can be healing if you prepare them the right way. We'll talk about that later. But first, we need to look at one of the most beloved, comforting, and dangerously misleading foods on the senior breakfast table: white toast with margarine and jam. Part 3, white toast with margarine and jam, a triple threat in disguise. After we expose the truth behind instant oatmeal, it's time to talk about one of the most beloved and misleading breakfasts on the senior table: white toast, spread with margarine and finished with jam. It's quick, it's soft. It reminds you of simpler times. But this familiar breakfast, it's actually a triple threat to your health. Let's break it down. First, white bread. White bread is made from refined flour stripped of fiber, protein, and nutrients. Once inside your body, it behaves just like sugar. It causes a blood sugar spike almost as fast as drinking soda. And when blood sugar spikes, inflammation follows close behind. A study in the European Journal of Endocrinology found that seniors who regularly consumed refined carbs like white bread had 34% lower insulin sensitivity, making it harder to regulate blood sugar over time. Second, margarine. Marketed for years as a heart-healthy butter alternative, margarine is often made from inflammatory seed oils like canola or soybean oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which when unbalanced fuel inflammation in blood vessels, joints, and even the brain. Studies link these oils to increased risk of heart disease and cognitive decline in older adults. Third, jam. It may look innocent in that tiny glass jar, but jam is concentrated sugar. Just 2 tablespoons can contain 8 to 10 grams of sugar, spiking your blood and forcing your pancreas into overdrive. This daily sugar surge doesn't just wear down your metabolism. It also feeds abdominal fat, what doctors call visceral fat, the most dangerous kind. Now imagine eating all 3 together. First thing in the morning, no protein, no fiber, just sugar on processed fat and starch. A perfect storm for blood sugar swings, joint pain, and even memory issues. And yet it's still being served in senior homes and kitchens across America. Why? Because it's familiar, comfortable, easy to chew. But just like instant oatmeal, what feels comforting may be quietly harming your strength. So what can we replace it with? What's equally easy, soft and satisfying, but healing instead of harming? Let's answer that in the next part, where we'll talk about one of the most deceptive health foods in the fridge-flavored yogurt. Part 4, flavored yogurt, the hidden dessert masquerading as health. We've just uncovered the truth behind toast, margarine, and jam, a breakfast combo that quietly chips away at your health. But now, let's open the fridge and take a closer look at something that seems so innocent, so healthy. It's often the go-to choice for older adults trying to eat light-flavored yogurt cups. They promise probiotics, calcium, even a low-fat solution to a heavy breakfast. But the truth, most of them are closer to dessert than nutrition. Let's look at the numbers. A single serving of flavored yogurt can contain up to 22 grams of added sugar. That's more than 5 teaspoons. And it's not just the sugar. They often contain artificial sweeteners, thickeners like guar gum, natural flavors which aren't so natural, and sometimes even food dyes. A 2019 study in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed high-sugar dairy products for breakfast had a 34% increase in inflammatory markers like CRP and IL-6 within just 2 hours. These markers are directly linked to immune suppression, faster muscle wasting, and cognitive decline in people over 60. And the low-fat versions, even worse. When fat is removed, manufacturers usually add extra sugar or corn-based thickeners to compensate for flavor. You lose the very fat that helps you absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, essential nutrients for bones, brain, and immune health. Here's the irony. Many seniors choose flavored yogurt hoping to help their digestion, but the additives often disrupt gut bacteria instead. This can lead to bloating, poor nutrient absorption, and weaker immunity. If that sounds familiar, don't worry. There's a better option: plain Greek yogurt. It has more protein, real probiotics, and no added sugar. You can sweeten it naturally with a few blueberries or cinnamon. You get the creamy satisfaction, but with stable blood sugar and real gut healing. So if you're reaching for yogurt in the morning, pause, read the label, and ask yourself, is this food feeding your body or quietly draining it? Because now that we've looked at the 4 silent saboteurs of senior health, it's time to flip the script. Coming up next, the 4 breakfasts our seniors must eat to protect your brain, muscles, joints, and memory. Part 5, Chia Seed Pudding, the tiny breakfast that quietly heals your body. We've spent the first half of this video uncovering the truth about the breakfast habits that quietly sabotage the health of seniors. Now, it's time to shift our focus toward healing. Because your body, no matter your age, has an incredible ability to recover if you feed it right. Let's begin with one of the smallest, humblest, but most powerful foods on the planet, chia seeds. Yes, those tiny black seeds you might have seen in the health aisle, they're more than a trend. When soaked in liquid overnight, they form a soft, jelly-like pudding, gentle on the stomach, and a powerhouse of nutrients for aging bodies. Here's why chia seed pudding is perfect for seniors. Just 2 tablespoons give you 10 grams of fiber, which keeps digestion smooth, prevents blood sugar spikes, and feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. 4 grams of plant-based protein to protect your muscles and keep your metabolism active. Hononai, rich omega-3 fatty acids, known for reducing inflammation and protecting the heart and brain. A study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that seniors who consumed high-fiber, omega-3 rich breakfasts had 39% better insulin sensitivity and a 30% lower risk of muscle degradation over time. Unlike high-sugar yogurts or refined toast, chia pudding slows digestion. That means you feel full longer without the crashes, and its smooth, soft texture makes it perfect for seniors with dental issues, swallowing difficulties, or weak digestion. Making it is simple. Soak 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in half a cup of almond milk or coconut milk overnight. In the morning, stir it and top with cinnamon or a few berries. No stove, no chewing, just healing in a spoon. And here's the best part. While it nourishes your body, it also calms your system. Its fiber supports gut-brain communication, helping with mood, clarity, and emotional stability. So tomorrow morning, instead of starting your day with sugar and stress, let your first bite be one that tells your body you're safe, you're healing, you're strong. Next, let's move from gentle nourishment to blood flow and energy. Because the next food, it doesn't just support your brain, it fuels your movement. Let's talk about beets. Part 6, Beetroot Smoothie, the bright root that powers your muscles and mind. In the last section, we gently supported your digestion and nervous system with chia seeds. Now it's time to turn up the energy, because as we age, the body's ability to circulate blood, deliver oxygen, and activate muscles begins to slow. And with that comes fatigue, slowness, and even forgetfulness. But what if a simple, deep red root could change that story? Meet your new morning ally, beets. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, not the harmful kind found in processed meats, but plant-based nitrates that your body turns into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, it's a molecule that widens your blood vessels, allowing more oxygen and nutrients to reach your brain, muscles, and organs. A 2017 study from Wake Forest University found that seniors who drank beetroot juice daily for just 4 days had significantly increased blood flow to the frontal lobe of the brain. That's the area responsible for decision-making, memory, and focus. Another study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed beets before exercise had a 21% increase in muscle oxygenation and walked faster and farther than those who didn't. That means better clarity, better movement, and better confidence. And you don't have to eat raw beets or suffer through earthy flavors. Here's how to make it simple. Take half a cup of cooked beets. You can use steamed or vacuum-packed ones. Blend with water, lemon juice, and a few berries or half a banana to soften the flavor. Drink it 30 to 60 minutes before activity, even if that's just walking to the mailbox. The effects are subtle at first, but over time, your body starts to move with more ease. Your steps feel steadier, and your mind a bit clearer. So if you're looking for something that fuels both your heart and your legs, beetroot is one of the most powerful healing tools in your kitchen. And speaking of strength, our next breakfast food is a classic, often feared, but deeply misunderstood. Pasture-raised eggs. Let's crack the truth wide open in the next section. Part 7, Pasture-Raised Eggs, the most misunderstood superfood for seniors. If you've been told for years that eggs are bad for your heart, it's time to unlearn that. Because new research tells a much different story, especially for older adults. Eggs, and when they come from pasture-raised hens, are one of the most complete, healing, and senior-friendly foods you can start your day with. Let's start with protein. Just one large egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein, the kind your muscles actually use. That matters because after 60, your body's ability to build and maintain muscle starts to decline. And without enough protein, the decline happens faster. A 2015 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate at least 25 grams of protein at breakfast preserved 45% more muscle mass over time than those who didn't. That's not just about strength, it's about independence. Now, let's talk about nutrients. Eggs contain vitamin B12 to protect your nerves and brain, choline, critical for memory and neurotransmitters, selenium to support your immune system, vitamin D for bone health and mood, and eggs from pasture-raised chickens contain twice the omega-3s and more vitamin D than regular store-bought eggs. Why? Because the hens are allowed to roam, forage, and eat a natural diet. What about cholesterol? Studies now show that for most people, especially seniors without existing heart disease, eating eggs does not increase heart risk. In fact, the healthy fats in eggs help stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. So how should you prepare them? Avoid frying in inflammatory oils like canola or vegetable oil. Instead, cook them with olive oil, avocado oil, grass-fed butter, or poach them in water. Soft-boiled, scrambled gently, over easy. Any way that keeps the yolk golden and the texture soft is perfect. For seniors who struggle with chewing or digestion, eggs are soft, easy, satisfying, and deeply nourishing. They're not just breakfast. They're brain fuel, muscle medicine, heart protection, all in one small shell. And speaking of protection, our next and final breakfast food is all about defending your brain, your balance, and your future. Let's meet the tiny, dark berry that holds the biggest power for aging well, wild blueberries. Part 8, Wild Blueberries, Tiny Berries, Tremendous Brain Power. Of all the breakfasts we've talked about, this one is the simplest and the most powerful, small, dark, often overlooked. Wild blueberries are one of nature's greatest gifts to aging brains and bodies. They're loaded with anthocyanins, compounds that fight oxidative stress, improve blood flow, and even repair brain cells. In one study published in Nutrients, seniors who ate 1 cup of wild blueberries daily had significant memory improvements in just 90 days. Another found a 52% drop in inflammation markers after adding them to breakfast. And unlike big, watery cultivated berries, wild blueberries are smaller, darker, and richer in antioxidants. They boost balance, protect memory, and fuel coordination, key for preventing falls and staying sharp. The best part, they're easy. Add a handful to plain yogurt, chia pudding, or blend them into a smoothie. No prep, no pills, just real healing food. So if you only make one change to your breakfast this year, let it be this. Because wild blueberries don't just taste sweet, they help you age sweetly. Seniors, your breakfast, your power. Every morning, you're given a quiet choice: to feed your strength or feed your symptoms, to slow down the damage or begin the healing. And the truth is, aging doesn't mean losing power. It just means you need to be more intentional with what you give your body. We've seen how common foods like instant oats, white toast, sugary yogurts, or cereals can quietly inflame, exhaust, and weaken you. But we've also seen how powerful small changes can be: a chia pudding to steady your digestion, beet smoothies to energize your steps, pasture-raised eggs to protect your muscles, and wild blueberries to light up your brain. These aren't trends, they're tools. Simple, healing habits that rebuild strength from the inside out. So tomorrow morning, don't ask, what's easy? Ask, what does my body need to stay strong, sharp, and steady, and let breakfast be your answer. If this video gave you a fresh perspective, let us know in the comments. Which of these foods will you add to your morning? And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another tool that helps you live stronger, longer, because growing older is not a decline, it's an opportunity to choose better, to heal deeper, to live fully. Your next great chapter could begin with your next breakfast.